Mother duck forcibly pushes her child into the water. She must teach the duckling to fly before winter so they can fly to the warm south together. After the ducklings are ready, Mother duck flaps her wings to teach them. Unexpectedly, the ducklings learn after watching once and successfully fly into the sky. This makes the mother duck very gratified. It seems there will be no problem surviving the winter. However, while the ducklings are practicing flying, a fox appears. The flying ducklings are not afraid, but the fox targets the duckling's friend, the rabbit. Seeing its friend in danger, the little duck immediately dives down and stands in front of the fox. But with its small body, how could it be a match for the fox? After losing a lot of feathers, it barely escapes. But its wing seems to be injured and it can no longer fly. The duckling faints under the reeds. As the weather gets colder, Mother duck is ready to take her children south. But now the duckling is missing. She has to find her child first. However, the place where the duckling fainted is too hidden. Mother duck searches for a long time without finding him. Finally, she sees the scattered feathers. Mother duck instantly bursts into tears, thinking her child has met with a terrible fate. The other wild ducks have already set off. Mother duck must also leave. Although she still has a glimmer of hope in her heart, time waits for no one. She is also responsible for her other two children. Then Mother duck takes her children and sets off on the journey. At this moment, the little duck wakes up. Seeing his mother in the sky, he tries to chase after her. But with his injured wing, he can't fly high. After exerting himself too much, he faints again. Unknowingly, winter has arrived. White snow covers the ground. Without his own kind, his figure appears so lonely. But at this moment, someone calls his name from behind. It turns out to be the duckling's rabbit friend who found him. The little rabbit asks him why he didn't fly away. The duckling looks at his wing with a sad expression. Just as they are chatting, the fox appears again. The duckling panics and escapes into the water. The little rabbit chooses to run wildly on land. Compared to chasing the agile rabbit, it is obviously easier to catch the duckling in the water. Faced with the fox's relentless pursuit, the duckling can only dodge in a small area. Fortunately, his movements are agile enough that the fox can't catch him. In the end, the fox loses patience and decides to wait for the weather to get colder and the ice to freeze completely before catching him. As time goes by, just as the fox had thought, the duckling's space for movement becomes smaller and smaller. Finally, he has to jump out of the water. Before he can even think about his next step, the fox has already arrived. Little one, let's see where you run this time. At the critical moment, his friend bravely stands up. The little rabbit picks up snow and throws it in the fox's face, successfully attracting its hatred. This time the little rabbit didn't come alone, he called his whole family. The duckling wants to go and help, but he can't fly and his speed is slow. Going over would only cause trouble, so he has to leave with the other rabbits. There's a rabbit here to help. They run side by side, luring the fox to a big tree. Then they suddenly split up, confusing the fox about which one to chase. It wants to catch both rabbits at the same time, but in the end, it catches neither. The fox regrets its decision, wishing it had just chased one. With the help of his rabbit friends, the duckling finally survives the winter. With the revival of all things, the earth welcomes new life, and the duckling's wing finally heals. He can soar in the sky again. One day, their old friend the fox comes again. The duckling is no longer afraid of it, but it is still a threat to the rabbits. The duckling has a flash of inspiration and comes up with a way to solve it. The duckling lies on the ground, pretending to be injured, to attract the fox. He deliberately flies close to the ground, giving the fox hope but never letting it catch him. Finally, the duckling lures it onto the lake. The ice has not completely melted. The fox, perhaps too hungry, continues to chase relentlessly in this dangerous situation. In the end, the duckling stops pretending and starts skating on the ice, making the fox so angry that it leaps and falls directly into the water, sinking completely. From then on, the rabbits no longer have to fear the fox. The duckling becomes a hero, and his flock returns at this time. Finally, the duckling returns to his mother's side. The scene is so heartwarming.